Well, it goes without saying that India is a cost-conscious market with a never-ending demand for small and affordable cars. But that does not mean there is no audience for those performance vehicles who love the thrill of driving. While many mass car makers have attempted to launch such vehicles in the past, none could create as much buzz as the Hyundai i20. Yes, you heard me right. Hyundai has finally decided to bring its performance arm, the N-Line brand, to India, and their first ever vehicle in this brand is the i20 N-Line. We'll today see if this is just a cosmetic update over the regular i20 or does it really offer the thrill of driving. Now before we move ahead, here's a quick understanding on the N-Line brand. The N in the N-Line is inspired from Namyang or the Nürburgring tracks where most of the development for this performance arm takes place. Internationally, Hyundai sells the N-Line brand cars in more than 40 countries, and in India they are entering for the very first time with this i20 N-Line. Apart from that, they have cars like the Elantra, the Kona and the i30. And the cars are inspired from their rich history in the WRC motorsports. As per Hyundai, design is the single biggest factor among buyers for choosing a vehicle in India today, and rightfully so. A lot of work has been done on the N-Line model to make it look as attractive as it can be. While the overall design remains the same as the regular i20, you get many interesting elements like a checkered flag inspired new grille, newly designed 16-inch alloys, dual chrome tipped exhaust pipes and a tailgate spoiler with side wings. And to put things into perspective, I have with me this i20 Turbo with the i20 N-Line, and as you can see, apart from this new blue color scheme, you also get these multiple red inserts here and there that adds to the sportiness to this N-Line. And these red inserts are also carried forward inside the cabin, which we will just show you now. The cabin is no different than the exterior, with the same layout as the i20 but with a whole new level of sportiness appeal. You get an all black dark theme cabin with hints of red elements that accentuates the overall cabin appeal. The seats get checkered flag design while the dashboard gets a stylish horizontal lines integrated with the AC vents. I also like the toggle switch kind of AC buttons, while the use of leather trim throughout the cabin adds to a premium touch. The center of attraction though is a large 10.25-inch touchscreen infotainment system with inbuilt BlueLink connectivity and navigation. The infotainment is supported by an incredible Bose 7-speaker audio system. Hyundai has also added a voice-enabled sunroof to the i20 N-Line. Other features include a wireless charging with cooling pad, a digital instrument cluster, and more importantly, a red ambient lighting that is a much needed addition for a car in this segment. It is actually hard to find any fault in the cabin of the i20 N-Line in my opinion. Even the practicality and the space inside the cabin is on point. The seats are super comfortable as well. If only I have to nitpick, I would have asked for an integrated air purifier, but that's more or less about it. Rest everything is picture perfect and as loaded as you can expect from a premium hatch. Now the one thing that truly differentiates the i20 Turbo with the new i20 N-Line is the stupendous exhaust note, and producing this exhaust note is the same i20 turbo engine, which is a 1 liter unit producing 120 bhp. You get an option of either a 7-speed DCT gearbox or an option of a 6-speed IMT gearbox. Now Hyundai claims that apart from the engine, they have worked tremendously on the steering, the overall handling, the braking, and the ride quality and suspension tuning to elevate the whole driving experience in the N line. And luckily for us, our tracking support vehicle was a i20 turbo, and so comparison became much easier. The N line indeed has a different overall driving experience as the turbo model, but not as radical as the exterior and the cabin design. To give it a more sportier driving appeal, the steering has been made a bit heavy, and that for me was a turn down. You see, while I enjoyed driving the i20 N line on the beautiful winding roads of Udaipur and it felt planted, in city the steering felt quite heavy. Also, while in the city the car felt amply powerful, on the highway I found it to be a little less aggressive. So a mixed overall feeling in that sense. In my opinion, Hyundai should have added drive modes to alter power and steering response as per the driving conditions. Having said that, the suspension and braking was on point. In terms of safety, the i20 N-Line gets 6 airbags on the N8 variant, TPMS, ECS, ESC, ABS with ABT, and virtual safety tech like the SOS and RSA buttons on the rear view mirror. Now, truth be told, I started this review with an impression in my mind that this car is a mere cosmetic job over the regular i20, and in that sense, Hyundai has completely nailed the design both inside out. But when it comes to the driving bit, you have to choose your options very carefully. If you are someone who loves to drive a car on the highway with a lot of emphasis on the performance, then the new Hyundai i20 N-Line is your car. But if you are someone who loves to drive the car in the city, have to take out your car mostly for your office commute, and love a lighter steering wheel, then you should go for the regular i20 or the i20 turbo for that matter.